born, the throne awaits. A seer warns of a deadly fate. Give up your children, separate. Bide your time, lie in wait. Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I'm one of the students, Morgan.
I'm the other student, Devin.
And I'm the teacher, Dan. And this week we're talking about Sonic Underground some more. I'm gonna be honest, this show isn't very good. I know, it's a big shock, but...
This show had me mad for 2 episodes straight. I kept trying to meet it on its Saturday morning cartoon level, and I was like, I can't.
It's so bad. At least with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, there's I have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, because it's kind of just funny antics. And then even Sonic X, I think I prefer to this. Because at least it's I don't know, I know what's going on.
Yeah. Sonic Underground is... I something I've thought about before. Adventures with Sonic the Hedgehog came first, and that leaned very much into this sort of, comedy Looney Tunes stuff. Just...
Yeah.
The artist is hugely inspired by it and whatnot. Sad AM is trying to lean into a more serious thing, along the lines of other TV shows from the time that were for kids, but also had mature plot lines Gargoyles and Batman the Animated Series.
Oh man, I remember liking Gargoyles a lot as a kid. I don't remember it that much, but it seems almost like it works better than Underground does. Yeah. I don't know if I would say Sad AM is the greatest show ever or anything. It's okay.
The thing that
it kind of Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The thing that Sad AM does is that an episode has a defined plot, and then it sticks with it instead of doing 90 fake outs during an episode. That just makes me mad.
Yeah, and
it does also seem to borrow from the comics, which are at least they seem well loved for a reason.
Yeah, they're at least slightly coherent.
Also, yeah, a bunch of the early Archie stuff, which would have been contemporary with this. Well, by this point in time, it would be deep in the Penders era, but also the early stuff for that is, it has the characters from the more serious Sad AM, but has more goofy plot lines akin to Adventures. I feel one thing about Underground is it wants to bridge this sort of gap, but it has no ability to do so.
Yeah.
It's just trying so hard to be cool. But in
yeah, it's trying so hard. And in a very in a cringy way. I get that it's not geared towards me, it's geared towards kids. But I don't know.
It's trying hard to be cool, but in a Dare the Lion kind of way. Or the Dare Lion, whatever his name is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's trying to be cool in a way that a middle-aged television writer thinks what they think a child in the 90s would think is cool.
How you doing, fellow teens?
Yeah,
exactly.
We'll get there, but the entire second episode with Manic's stealing thing, and I'm just Okay, first of all, he's stealing from people who work for Dr. Robotnik. Like, I don't think I'm too pressed about him stealing.
Yeah.
For real.
Like, I'm like, yeah, you keep stealing, man. It ruined their lives. It's fine.
I don't think there's any news this week. I mean, I think the Sonic Colors remaster might have come out by now. Yeah, I think that came out by now. It's just, from what I understand, it's pretty alright. There have been, like, videos of glitches and stuff, but otherwise it's alright. I've heard some complaints about, like, certain soundtracks that were remixed that don't sound as good, but for what I've seen, what I've heard, it looks like Sonic Colors.
Yeah, it looks like Sonic Colors. It looks like it could be pretty fun. I heard the Switch version is the glitchiest version, so if you want it, you might want to get it for, like, PC or something.
Yeah. Makes sense. Switch has, weaker hardware than the other stuff it's coming out on.
From the immortal words of the Shrieking Shack, it's a 6 out of 10 one of those.
Yeah, it's, Sonic Colors is a very, 7 out of 10. It got, like, a lot of, like, reputation at the time, because at the time, like, Unleashed was a 6 out of 10 at best, and before that was, well, Sonic 06.
Right, like, Sega was in a deep rut of,
they were in
like,
a
bad
dark
games,
place.
And yeah, and so I heard a lot of people being like, oh, Colors from that time is okay. Or like, oh, I really liked Colors. And it's like, I wonder how many of those people are like playing it now and are like, I thought it was better than this. You know, it's always one of those things where I'm like, seems interesting in like a nostalgia kind of way for people who played it, you know?
Yeah, kind of like an oasis.
Whereas, like, I don't have any of that type.
Like an oasis in a desert of content.
God.
Cool.
True.
So, with that all said, let's talk about the first episode, the first of these 2 episodes. At this point, I'm not going by numbers because the numbering is weird. So instead I'll just say the title of this episode, which, chronologically is the 7th episode. The Price of Freedom.
Or as I like to call it, Sonia's girlfriend.
She literally calls her girlfriend. Like, I know they mean it in, like, a girl that's a friend way, but, like, no, they're girlfriends.
Live in Yao Pal.
God, this is such
they never married and they were best friends and constantly wrote to each other.
This episode is such a, like, wow, girls don't like being dirty. Women be shopping.
The women be shopping energies of this episode were off the goddamn charts.
They were, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we open up with this sort of like chase sequence between like the Sonic siblings and Sleet and Dingo.
Also, their mom does like a fucking like opening dialogue or monologue. I don't remember. Does she do that for every episode? Because she did it for these 2 episodes.
Yeah, she does it for every episode.
Right.
Okay. I just have a terrible memory. Yeah, they're like being chased by Dingo and fucking whatever his name is.
This is my terrible memory for this show. Could Sonic always fly?
Wait.
He was like
flying?
a blue blur, but very specifically, he never touched the ground as he was like doing his blue blur run ahead of them thing. Like his orb is like very conspicuously like 10 feet off the ground.
I just assumed it was animated weird. I didn't really like register.
Well, that's what I thought, but then in the next episode, like No, this episode. Sorry, this episode's so long. They're like being taken up into a ship, and Sonic like clearly flies up into the ship.
Yeah, I guess it's going off this sort of like cartoon logic where if you run fast enough, you can just go anywhere.
Yeah, it does feel like kind of cartoon like if you see like like Roadrunner fucking like boop it, like running up into something or whatever. I don't know. It didn't really like register as flying.
I was just like, oh, I guess Sonic.
Also, this picture I put.
Oh, I was just like, oh, I guess I just missed the part where they explain Sonic has the power to fly in this show.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, to be fair, there's no like plane, like there's no tails, so there's no like tornado for tails to fly.
Oh, that's true.
They gotta fly somehow. This picture I put in the Discord is just like, that dude's gaming to me. Like, he's blasting lasers at the siblings, but he just looks like he's gaming.
Dingo is a gamer.
That's what gaming looks like. So, they have this whole chase sequence. They trick Sleet and Dingo into like,
Sleet,
right. Sonia bails and gets hooked to a tree, but she's able to like create a fog that causes the bounty hunters to crash into a wall and go down a waterfall. So Sonia like tears herself free of it, and like she's mourning her bike. I think she's mourning her bike, or maybe her outfit, or both.
I thought she was like, my outfit.
Yeah, I think it's her outfit.
Yeah,
I think it's like new.
Yeah,
her bike. Yeah, because her bike ends up being fine. Because Manic looks at it and it just like leaks some oil, and she's like, "Fuck you," because the oil gets on her.
Yeah.
After her being like dirty with mud and the outfit being torn, and so she's just like, "Oh, I need a break. Fuck."
Yeah. So she drives off to East Mobius, which is incidentally the next location on their map of places to find Mom. So Sonic and Manic also go there.
Yeah.
To look.
Manic's like, time to go to next location.
Yeah.
Wow. What are the coincidences?
It's incredibly funny. It's incredibly funny how the entire like mom searching plot happens off screen.
Yeah. They just kind of seem to be like traveling around, like, and occasionally hearing about their mom and like maybe going to find.
I'm thinking this is like Fallout 4, where you have to find your son, but and to be fair, it doesn't take that many quest steps to get to there, but the average player is just going to spend so much time futzing around in the open world. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, Sonic Underground.
Damn, I can't believe Fallout 4 stole from Sonic Underground.
Let's see. So Sonia goes to her friend Mindy's. They are good friends.
Her very special friend Mindy.
Her gal pal Mindy is like, "Nice to see you, yay!" Like, brings her into her like big old mansion.
Yeah.
This is like assumed to be like a friend from when Sonia was like, living with those adoptive parents or whatever, I guess. I think.
Yeah, she like grew up rich, and I guess she had like a lot of connections with like various rich folks. Her dad, Mindy's dad, shows up, and he's like super hesitant to have her here because Sonia is a fugitive. If she stays here, they will probably get arrested for harboring a fugitive. And then they do a thing where like they talk about getting massages and manicures, etc.
And I'm like, where are you going to do that, huh?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Where could she possibly do this if she's a fugitive? Like, I was like, I guess Mindy's going to give her a massage. Like, that's the only thing I could literally think of. I was like, this is okay.
Gal Pal's going to give her a massage.
You know, this whole fugitive thing is very tenuous, especially in the next episode where, like, they could be arrested at any time, but they just aren't.
Yeah.
They were wearing masks in the next episode.
Oh, you're so right. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I think there's like a bit where she gets a scarf somewhere and she says it reminds her of her mom, who also wore a scarf. I don't know how she knows this. She's never met her.
I thought she like dropped
babies?
her scarf somewhere.
Oh, right, maybe. Right.
Every time these children bring up knowing their mom, I'm just like, you were a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember shit before the age of like fucking 10 or something. Like, I don't
know. Mindy's got like this watch, which she designed for the watch factory, that her father runs. She explains that even though they're old money, Robotnik is like taxing the rich, which is bad. And that means
really
that
evil.
These old... Yeah.
These 2 episodes were big on the whole taxing the rich is bad.
Yeah! God, they sure were, huh? They're both about, like, rich people's woes being ruled by a fucking dictator, I guess. Boo-hoo, like, fuck you.
God. What if... I'm just thinking, like, in the rewrite of Sonic Underground, Robotnik's just doing the whole Mao Zedong kill all the landlords thing.
Wait.
Like, just let them fight. Like,
honestly, oh my god, what if he was more like? What if it was more like, oh, he listened to the oligarch, like he was like, you know, kind of like how we see in this episode, how like rich father man is like actually working for Eggman. What if that's just like the case with all the rich? Then it would be, I don't know, commentary or something.
Right.
Maybe.
Like, completely by accident is the best part.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Something I've picked up on, mostly from hearing from other people, things I remember seeing in the past, like, where the Sonic's Underground status on the rich is, they're just harmless idiots who have lots of money, and, like, Sonic Underground is willing to say that the rich have problems, but are unwilling to say why they have problems beyond...
Yeah.
Yeah, I have...
Like, they can be like vain and jerks, but you're still supposed to sympathize with them.
I feel like people kind of live in this weird liminal space in Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in Sad AM, for instance, like, all the people who aren't, like, hiding are being roboticized, right? But in this one, it's like, there's just people around, and they're fine, as long as they get, like, you know, they're kind of just living their life, and I'm like,
yeah,
wow, this is exactly what would happen in real life. It's just, like, people would be living their life, and it would suck, and there would be some people that are fugitives, and it would suck worse for them, but, like, generally people are just vibing.
Right. Yeah.
And It's like completely by accident that it's like that. Like, it just kind of feels like a weird neoliberal hellhole.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have words about, like, next episode with the whole, like, poor children and, like, the Duke who supports the resistance. Like, I was losing my mind that entire episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Sonia gets one of her watches, and then this next part's very confusing because it goes into, like, a nightmare sequence, but there's no, like, pre-transition. It just starts.
The fucking transition is her, like, looking in the mirror, and then suddenly she's, like, thinking, and then there's just, like, a fucking nightmare sequence, which, like, in retrospect we realize is a nightmare because she's waking up from a dream afterwards, but, like, she's just running around with her brothers, and she's, like, trapped by Robotnik with his, like, weird robot arms, and the scarf, like, magically comes out and wraps around him and is being controlled by her mom. And Sonia runs after her mom. And then her mom suddenly becomes Robotnik.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very scary, and she wake up.
Cut to me thinking that, oh, this will be relevant for the rest of the episode. No, it's not.
No.
At all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, oh, let's foreshadow, or like, no, it's like, let's bring up the scarf thing and then resolve it minutes later. And then the scarf never comes up again. And it's like, oh, it's just so we could have a funny dream about the scarf attacking Robotnik, I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, and she fell asleep in, like, a gown or something?
Yeah, did she get drugged or something?
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's so weird.
I felt like I was losing my fucking mind, like, for both these episodes, but, like, this one I was just like, is this supposed to be, like, a drug trip? I don't...
Yeah,
no.
like...
No, it's just a weird dream.
Yeah. Like, I get, like, the idea of starting a dream sequence in media res. That's obvious. That's how most of them start.
Yeah.
But,
sure, yeah.
But maybe, like, have a scene with Sonic and Manic doing something and then cut back.
Yeah, the transition's just very weird.
It just sort of happens, and, like, I don't think there's a really clear, like, meaning behind this dream beyond Robotnik, bad, mom, good. Like, I understand, like, dream sequences, like, basic stuff is, like, just show what they're afraid of, or have a little prophecy moment, or something like that.
But, like, if a dream is being shown in, like, a cartoon, like, different than, like, your real life dreams. Like, your real life dreams can be whatever the fuck happens. You probably were just, like, it's just shit from the day, or, like, whatever. But, like, usually if a dream is put into a show like this, like, they bothered to animate it. And this is, like, before computer animation was, like, really a thing. So they had to, like, hand draw all this. And they were like, okay, let's do this dream with, Robotnik, bad, mom good, she's being fooled in her dream, whatever. They bothered to, like, animate all of that and didn't have, like, any follow-up on that. Like, they didn't have anything where she was like, oh, I remember this from my dream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something with this scarf or something. Or like, oh wow, I remembered in my dream that Robotnik can, like, extend his arms like a robot. It's real. Scary. Very, I don't know. Like, for some reason, it really bothered me. It's just, like, I was, like, very hung up on this fucking
dream sequence?
Because they put so much, like, effort into nothing. Essentially.
It screams that they, like, got to the end of, like, storyboarding most of the episode and were like, ah, shit, we don't have, like, a full episode. Let's just throw in a dream sequence.
Yeah! And it's kind of batshit to think about that they didn't have a full episode because they were kind of at a rapid pace for most of it. Like, I just felt like things kept happening. Like, there was a song in the middle of the episode that I thought would be maybe more towards the end. Like, I was like, you didn't have to put this dream in it. You would have had more time to, like, dwell on, like, the daughter and father relationship later. Like,
here's the thing you could have put into the episode.
You could have cut out the dream. You could have cut out the dream completely, or, like, make it shorter, or, like, whatever, and then, like, spend more time laying out, like, why the father did certain things for his daughter, and you didn't have to explain it all in a song. Which is what happens.
We get an entirely new character this episode. We get an entirely new character this episode with no setup, and I'm like, why do we need dream sequence when you could be fleshing out entirely new character?
Exactly.
Have like Sonic and Manic be like in trouble, like looking for their mom, and then the new character is like, it was a setup, you fools.
Yeah, like Sonic and Manic don't come up again until like Sonya needs them.
Yeah.
And like you're so right, Dan. Like, why wasn't there like a weird cutaway? Like the transition to a dream would have made more sense if there had been like a cutaway to Manic and Sonic before it. You're so right. Like that would have been maybe like the most like the simplest solution.
So,
this episode is
This like weird and out of order and like thrown together.
So Sonya wakes up and she finds like this robot like scanning documents she has on her person at all times.
For some reason. Where did she get this from? Why did she have like a black briefcase? That her.
And also, what documents could they be? I never see these three, like, doing anything other than just
they just around. Are, like, on the run. They're on the lam, and, like, for some reason they have some documents that we've never seen before, and I doubt we'll see again. Yeah. And she's all like, wow, I don't even let my...
Oh, we definitely won't see these again.
I don't even let my brothers look at this, you little fucking robot freak.
It's the Green Book. So this robot's like sending stuff to the Robotnik Intelligence Agency, or the RIA.
Stupid. I do like the robot, though. Like, I like the watch robot. I like that it's a little spider guy, and I like that there ends up being a bunch of them.
That's fun. Yeah.
They're just funny little guys.
Yeah, I think it's around this point that Sonya sees, like, Sonic and Manic outside.
She calls them.
Oh, right, she calls
them. No, she just calls them.
She's on the
like, sup.
phone with them. And I'm like, where did you get this phone from? What the fuck is going on? Why does Sonic have a phone? He doesn't have clothes for the phone. I thought at first he was talking through his necklace, which would make more sense, honestly, if, like, they could communicate through their, like, instrument necklaces and could just, like, and Sonya could be like, wow, calling up Sonic and is like, oh, I messed up. Come help me. And Sonic and Manic are, like, in the area, thankfully.
Yeah.
Just have phones.
Manic steals, like, what was it, like a polo club? Or something like that?
Like a mallet.
And...
Which, once again, good for Manic.
Yeah.
Steal from the rich, dude.
He even, like, uses it in this scene to his advantage. To, like, beat up
Sonic
a robot.
Scolds?
Yeah.
Sonic scolds him at first, but then, like, those watch robots, like, there's a bunch of them that come in.
Yeah.
And Manic's like, great, now I can use this to smash them with.
So...
Yeah, I'm 100% on Manic's side all the time.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Sonic and Manic get captured by, like, SWAT bots. We meet this one SWAT bot. I don't know if he comes back or something, but he's, like, an important one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's referred to as Agent N.
It's N for Nintendo.
Yeah. Agent Nintendo. So they're gonna, like, try to find Sonia, or the RI agents. But, like, I'm not really... My notes here are a little slim, but I think, like, what happens is, like, Sonia shows up, drops Sonic and Manicore in a net on a tree onto Agent N to knock him out, and she frees them. Manic, like, picks a lock to the watch factory, because they know about the watches now. And we learn about the surveillance state. They're going to... these watches are all going to be, like, sold as luxury items, and
for cheap.
They'll be... for cheap. And they will
be cheap.
This is literally... They're literally surveillance items that everyone is gonna own because they're cheap. This is... Sonic Underground is just neoliberal hell.
Mm-hmm. They predicted selling info on smartphones.
God.
No one's gonna read the fucking terms of service agreements, and they know it.
Mm-hmm.
Except in this one, it's covert. Like, they don't know they can turn into robots. But in real life, we know.
Yeah.
And it's good, actually.
They find it... So, like, they tell, I guess they tell, Mindy and her dad. And, like, her dad knew. He explains, like, he did it to protect her. And then we get a song.
And then we get a song.
I'm gonna cut it here and say I thought Mindy would be evil, mostly because Sonia had a line where she first found, like, the camera robot thing, and she said, "Oh, nice try, Mindy." I was like, oh, so Mindy's evil. That's cool. No, she just didn't know anything about this.
Yeah,
she did gift it to her, so, like...
Right.
Yeah, I was like, cool, Mindy's evil. Like, Mindy is part of the surveillance state. That's cool. Let the rich be evil.
So, this song, it's called Money Can't Buy the Things You Really Need, and it's about how money can't buy the things you really need.
So true.
Oh, so true,
fucking
dude.
true. That's exactly what it... Fucking... I had to, like, speed up. I was like, I don't want to listen to this song. I don't care
Anyways,
anymore.
next episode, we talk about the orphans.
These characters mean nothing to me.
Mm-hmm. So...
Mindy and her dad mean nothing to me.
This song works on Mindy's dad. They're gonna flee their home and join the freedom fighters. There's like
just like that.
Throughout the rest of this, there are a bunch of jokes about, like, them carrying too much luggage because they're rich and they don't know what's essential. Mostly Mindy. Her dad
because she's a girl.
Understand. Also, because women be shopping.
Women be shopping. She can't leave everything behind. She has to bring all her polka dots with her. She can't, like... Sorry.
Yeah.
Why don't these rich people just say, okay, we'll stay here and we'll keep selling these evil watches, but we'll also funnel money into the resistance so you guys could, like, you know, have shit, and we can send the information these watches gather to you guys as well, so you can, like, have
that would be more
intelligence. That would be smart. I'm sorry.
Ambiguous. That would be morally. That would have a degree of moral grayness to it, which Sonic Underground just can't have.
Yeah, you know, the moral grayness, where, in this next episode, that's exactly what happens. The guy gives money to the Resistance and to Robotnik. You know.
Oh, I have words about the Duke, but we'll get there.
But we can't have moral grayness in this episode, only in the second episode.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're too busy about the women be shopping.
Mm-hmm. So they sort of, Mindy and her dad flee. They get caught by Sleet and Dingo.
Remember those guys?
Their plan is, Sleet turns Dingo into a carpet and tosses the carpet, rolls it, and then it drapes itself over them, so he can just grab them.
Yeah, I missed the part where he turned Dingo into a carpet, and I was like, why is there just a floating carpet after them now?
Mm-hmm.
A funny carpet, like something that would happen in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, except this is a serious show.
Yeah.
But funny Dingo capture them as a carpet.
Funny Dingo do a TF.
God, that's like his whole thing, is being transformed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He loves it.
A generation of children got
super
real
into
sweaty.
it. Mm-hmm.
Ew. God.
So the Sonic siblings rescue them. The lighting, I think it cuts to commercial, and after it cuts back, the lighting is just changed from this sort of dusky tone to just daylight.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, they were in there for a while. They were really.
That commercial took a long time.
They were really trying to figure out how to get out of that fucking blanket for a while.
They just forgot. The artists just forgot what time of day it was before.
These artists were fucking gone. They were so high during this episode.
I mean, you would have had to be, right?
Yeah.
Right. I feel genuinely, if you're doing this much hand-drawn art and stuff, you had to be kind of a little bit coked up.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do something to deal with the hand cramps,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Agent N is back and captures everyone but Sonic. They're gonna get roboticized in this portal, this ship that has a roboticizer in it. Sonic saves them by sending out all the watch robots, which have been reprogrammed to work for him.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that. Sonia, Manic, and Sonic all reprogrammed the watches while Mindy and her dad were packing up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is the slowest
I also
roboticizer
like that
ever.
the whole. It's the slowest roboticizer in the entire world. I'm just what's the point in this?
She's just in a tube.
Why could she's just in a tube? Oh my gosh! Also, it's just I like that they can just use the watches now. They just rapidly changed 100 or 200 fucking watches to work for them, and now Sonic can just control them now and rip up all the fucking robots. All the bad robots, excuse me, with the good watch robots. Now.
Yeah, and smart resistance fighters, they're going to have Mindy and her dad return back to their factory and use these now reprogrammed watches to spy on Robotnik.
That's not what happens.
I mean...
Oh, I must have watched a different episode.
Yeah, no, that's not what happens.
Yeah. They say home is where your family is, and Mindy and her dad go join the freedom fighters elsewhere. I think that's it for the episode.
They just fucking join the freedom fighters. They leave all their clothes behind that they were all so worried about before, and they ended up using as weapons. Sleet and Dingo have the robot. I mean, they're drones, right? Like, they're watch drones. Like, what else could you really call them other than, like, spider drone or something? Like, they get attacked and it's scary because they're spiders. Yeah, they're just like, these two, like, well-off people had their entire lives changed. And it's fine because they have each other. This is what would happen in real life. They wouldn't, turn the hedgehogs in to keep their life.
Right.
As it was.
Hey, here's a question. So we got new character, Agent, and we had Sleet and Dingo. Why did we have them both in this episode?
I don't know. In fact, they get to the point where it's like Sleet and Dingo are like annoyed with the N or whatever. Yeah. N from Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, it would be so good if N from Pokemon was in this episode.
I would love it.
Yeah. So that's it for the first episode. We start on episode 8 chronologically. Underground Masquerade. In this opener, Queen Alina talks about how crime is a slippery slope, and how Manic will be the focus of this episode because of that.
Alina says, I'm hard on crime.
And I say, you shut your mouth.
I don't think I would like Alina as a head of state either. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Not just because she's a monarch.
A fantasy queen is still a queen. Yeah, a fantasy monarch still.
Yeah,
a monarch.
even if they changed it so she wasn't a monarch and instead she was elected, I would not vote for her. She's not a good leader.
Speaking of fantasy royalty and aristocrats in this episode, Sonia is so out of pocket this episode.
Yeah.
She looks at some poor children and is like, damn, look how poor and dirty they are. They're playing the fucking accordion.
Damn, kid, you look like shit. Sonia says, fuck them kids.
Sonia says, I hate poor people so much it's unreal.
So, this episode sort of opens
I can't believe
with...
my brother used to be poor.
Sleet and Dingo are trying to steal tax money. Or, they're doing some tax collecting, and they come up with an idea of, like, what if we stole some tax money?
I'm like, wow, what I love to see in my children's cartoon, taxes.
Yeah, tax fraud.
I love it.
I can't believe Sleet and Dingo are unionizing. I do love how they talk this whole episode. They're like, oh, if we portray Robotnik, he'll arrest us. And I'm just like, Robotnik won't arrest you, he'll shoot you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk of like, oh, damn, we can't do this or we'll be arrested. I'm like, what are you talking about? He kills people.
Obviously not, because Sleet and Dingo are still alive. Even though they're, like, useless.
I guess.
He needs his dumb bots.
They're not even robots, are they?
No, they're not.
No! They're just dudes.
Like, they're fucking, at least scratch and ground, or you could rebuild over and over again. They're just dumb bits. Some fucking
They're
assholes.
just some fucking guys.
They're just some fucking guys.
So, we get to see this little street urchin kid. He tries to pickpocket a guy, but the guy's got no money in his wallet.
I
so
thought this was Dingo. I thought this kid was Dingo at first. I was extremely wrong. We see Kid Dingo later. I was very confused as to who this child was.
Yeah,
Gonna be honest. Gonna be very honest. I'd smoke with Kid Dingo.
Damn, me too.
Yeah.
Kid Dingo was pretty cool if he wasn't a little narc.
Kid Dingo is GNC as fuck.
God, he sure is. But
like
but like, I forget what this kid's name is, but I thought this was Child Dingo for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had him in my notes as just Little Manic.
He does look like a little, like, orange-haired, sort of more human-looking than Manic.
Yeah.
I don't know what he is.
I think it's like the color of him. Like, he's got more of like a fleshy skin tone to his whole body than the rest of the characters.
He has Manic's like comb-over spikes.
Mm-hmm. This kid's name is Max, as I learn like halfway into the episode.
Oh yeah, they do totally call him Max.
Yeah. He gets like, he does some crimes, he gets caught. He has to like run from Sleet and Dingo. And wouldn't you know it, the Sonic siblings are passing by in their RV, so he jumps in.
Why do they have an RV now instead of bikes?
This is my first on the list of these kids are just cops. Max hops in and is like, you guys gotta get me out of here. I'm being chased by some real bad guys. And Sonic just goes, why should we care? I'm like, damn, Sonic.
Seriously. I'm like,
like what?
This is a child.
Famed resistance fighter Sonic the Hedgehog does not care about children. Fuck them kids.
He really said, fuck them kids.
Yeah, he literally says, why should we care? And then he sees that it's Sleet and Dingo, and he's like, those guys suck. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But he had to see who was chasing him at first.
Like, Sonic, there's only one police force here, and it's bad.
Mm-hmm. So they like rescue Max. They escape. Max takes them to see his weird friends.
I love his little urchin group.
Yeah.
The little weird. I like the one with bat wings for ears. I have no idea what this child is, but I love him.
Yeah. There's
I love all these little
there's
urchins.
4 or 5 of them. They only named 2 of them, I think. Allegra and Clifton. And Clifton's this weird kobold kid.
Yeah! That is a good way to describe it, a kobold.
Yeah, there's a dodo gargoyle kid later.
Yeah,
these designs were clearly we don't know what to talk. We don't know what these animals are anymore.
They one of the character designers watched the TV show Gargoyles and thought, what if I made Lexington one of these kids?
I love just how vague a lot of the animals are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Mindy and her dad are.
Mm-hmm.
They might be some kind of dog creature.
Next time we watch Sonic Underground, I think I'll just watch Gargoyles instead.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Be an episode recap of that.
So what else? Okay, so we established the Sonic siblings have a gig at the Duke's Masquerade Ball.
These children can all play music, and they steal things by distracting people with their music. Mm-hmm. And so Sonic's like, hey, what if these kids played with us?
Yeah.
For the Duke, because they're cool, actually.
And then the Duke can just assign them to new families.
Yeah, that's something that just sort of gets dropped in the middle of the episode. The Duke can just do that.
What family?
It hasn't. I would just like to put it out there. The Duke hasn't. The Duke can just get these children families at any time.
The Duke knows 6 or 7 gay couples.
I guess so. I wonder well, now I have this idea. This is fucking stupid, but now I have this idea of, like, the Duke has, like, secret underground gay couples, because Robotnik hates the gays, famously.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, Robotnik famously is Catholic.
Yeah.
So...
This is the second Sonia at a pocket moment, because this is where, like, Sonic's like, oh, they could play in our band, and Sonia's like, oh, but Mom might be there, and if she saw us hanging out with a bunch of poor kids playing the accordion, no, that can't happen.
Yeah, she's like, we would be disowned.
Sonia, fuck off!
She says we would be disowned if our mom saw us playing with kids who play the accordion, and I'm like, why? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm like, Sonia, you're in a war right now. Fuck off.
Sonia, like, why do you hate the accordion so much? But also, like, why do you hate these children so much?
So Sleet and Dingo get a plan. Sleet's plan is to age regress Dingo into like a kid teen something named Erchino.
His name's Erchino! It's fucking Erchino. This GNC-ass kid.
He regresses him into level 2 stage, like, trans man, like...
Yeah!
Like...
Fuck!
This is Dingo's mid-evolution form.
This is literally, this is me, like, 2 months after taking tea. It's just, I'm gonna look like this fucking kid.
Yeah.
Kid Dingo rules! If he wasn't a narc, I would be best friends with him.
Yeah.
This show is full of narcs. Sonic's a fucking narc.
Yeah.
Sonic's a fucking cop!
This episode is truly a product of the Clinton administration.
God.
This show says, damn, look at the end of history, we love it.
We've arrived.
So Puccina's gonna have, like, a little listening device, and Sleet's gonna feed info into it. There's also, like, this whole bit where they establish that, like, Max's gang of kids can't, like, return all their loot because they've had it for a while and they don't know who they stole it from.
Sonic wants them to return the money that they took
also
from the rich people who are working for Eggman. Not explicitly, but they kept their wealth because Robotnik likes them enough to let them keep their wealth.
Also, why haven't these kids sold this fucking loot yet?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I think they maybe
we don't know who...
I think they maybe just had gotten it, like, even though they had it for, like, a while.
Okay.
They probably, like, threw it all together. That was, like, my thought was, like, oh, they probably just, like, collected a bunch of loot from these rich people and kind of threw it together so they don't know, like, what gold coins go to who. And,
okay, I was just like, fucking get rid of those gold coins and get some food, you fucking urchins.
They don't know shit about money.
Yeah.
Like...
I'm just, like, mad, because, like, there's just this scene about, like, one of the urchins, like, playing music and taking, like, a necklace while playing music, and then Sonic returns it.
Yeah, I forgot about that part, but that is something they do.
I'm like, Sonic, let the kids keep it. They literally need food.
Like, Sonic, what the fuck have these rich people ever done for you? These kids are all in on helping the resistance, and Sonic's like, yes, but we must keep the rich happy.
Yeah. We are an explicitly anti-government resistance, but also we obey the law.
Yes! Exactly! He literally keeps talking about, like, getting arrested and how, like, wow, if Manic keeps doing this shit where he steals, because, like, Manic's kind of showing the kids, like, other techniques, he's like, damn, these kids are gonna get in trouble. And I'm like, bitch, you already are in trouble. You're literally on the lam. You're a refuge.
I just had a brain blast. You know Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, that one episode where Sonic got adopted by Robotnik's mom?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole theme of the episode was, well, the law sometimes is unfair, but you gotta obey it or you're, like, just as bad as they are. That's just this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's the show.
That's the entire conceit of the show, is it being like, Sonic being like, oh, well, you know, we may be an anti-government resistance, but we hate to break the law.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's illegal, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they never kill anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... my notes are a little loose for this next section, but from what I understand, Sleet and Dingo are going to have Erchino, like, trick the kids and basically, like, trick Manic into, like, helping them steal for them.
Yeah, that is what happens. Like, there's some scenes of, like, Erchino / Dingo, like, kind of showing up and showing, like, how he's good at stealing and getting advice through, like, a little earpiece from Sleet
Dingo
or
knows
whatever.
some fucking coin tricks.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, he does it enough to kind of, like...
Yeah.
He does it enough to, like, get their approval, or at least, like, enough to be like, yeah, I'm a street urchin too, I want to help you guys, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's this whole bit where Erchino and Manic are, like, talking, and while they're talking, they're just, like, effortlessly doing a dual juggling act.
Oh, yeah!
And then, like...
Oh, that's right, I remember now. There's, like, Sleet establishes, like, when, like, Dingo is transformed, that by being a street urchin, he has inherent sleight of hand skills.
I'm like, what is this fucking D&D shit?
God, he just slotted into a class.
But he also says, like, you're still a dumbass, so I have to give you advice through the earpiece. And I'm like, the earpiece doesn't tell you. The earpiece can't help him do the coin trick. He still has to do it physically. What?
Low and high dex. Yeah.
God, that's how I play a character, though.
I like...
Real.
Erchino is so cool. I'm so mad.
He also, like, for...
Let Erchino be his own character.
But, like, Sleet also shows up, and, like, all the kids and the Sonic family are like, damn, how'd they figure out where we were? Well, obviously it's Erchino that, like, told them where they were. Mm-hmm. And then they, like, he puts up this, like, he brings these robots in, and then, you know, like, they all get away. All the kids and stuff get away. With a cool Sonic tornado. But, like, Sleet's also just like, yeah, we wanted them to get away.
Yeah.
I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dingo just conveniently, like, hung out behind. Like, obviously didn't help, clearly didn't get, like, sucked into the tornado, just kind of stayed there. No one has any opinions on this later.
So, like, part of the plan is, like, Erchino convinces Manic to steal a single coin to prove his trust in his plan. And Manic does this while Sonic and Sonia do a song for the masquerade ball. This is the weirdest fucking song we've gotten so far. It's Down in the Bayou, and it's like singing about Cajun beats, and I don't know why.
Oh wait, no, that comes at the actual ball. This part is where they like go to the Duke's house and they see his vault full of gold and treasure and say, "Damn, it's a shame you have to give it all away."
Because it's just Sonic and Sonia at first.
And I say,
it's just
what?
Sonic and Sonia at first because Manic's like showing all the kids like what they have to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so they go to the Dukes and they're like, you have to give all this money away.
Yeah.
So that you can keep your ball going. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, legally. Legally, he can keep his ball if he gives his money away in taxes. Also, that allows him to run information resistance.
Yeah, maybe like funding.
Funds the resistance, he said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, right.
Yeah, the Bayou stuff, or the song, like, that comes later because they have to, like, do this thing where they, like, see Sleet show up looking for the money, and, and then they also have to show, like, Manic, like, telling Max, like, hey, you have to take over for drums for me later for when I steal the coin, like Erchino wants me to, dares me to. And then that's when the ball happens.
Right.
And they're all in masks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in disguise so they don't get arrested.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sonic doesn't have gloves on and it weirds me out because I have to see his
did not notice that.
I did not notice. Oh no.
Oh, it was bothering me the whole episode. I thought it was an animation error, but nope, he just doesn't have gloves on.
Were his hands blue or tan?
They're tan.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, this is when the Bayou song plays. And I don't know why. What the fuck is...
Yeah, this is where these city kids from the city start singing about being pumpkins.
And also, the thing that was weird to me about it is that this, like, Sonic Underground is this weird sci-fi fantasy thing. It takes place in a world called Mobius. They're just singing about Louisiana. At a ball, yes.
Although...
How many, like, rich upper aristocrats are inviting, like, their local bluegrass band to their house?
And they're like, yes, we love we love the urchins playing about the being bumpkins and I love the pores. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love to hear about the working man's troubles.
Mm-hmm.
All the working men are from the Bayou, I guess.
They're all from a place called Louisiana, United States of America. So, at this point, like, Sleet and Dingo, like Dingo, like, transforms back to his regular self to basically capture Manic while he and Dingo steal everything. Is that what happens?
No, they do it to capture...
They don't capture Manic.
Right, I remember now. Manic...
Erchino just takes two of the other kids to the, like, safe, and they're like,
oh, right.
Okay, we're gonna steal things, and Dingo's like, they're like, wait, Dingo, we're supposed to do that later, after the taxes get collected. And he's like, or we'll do it now.
Right, and then he, like...
And then Sleet just shows up.
Yeah. Because Manic, like, takes all the security down and has the one coin, and then comes back and, like, takes over for drums. Yeah. There's two kids left behind.
Yeah.
With, Erchino. Yeah, and then all that stuff happens. And then, like, the thing is, like, Dingo and, like, Sleet and Dingo take all the money, and then they, like, pretend later that, like, there's no money in there.
Yeah.
Where's all the money?
And then they're
Money's
like,
gone.
oh fuck, the the Sonic Underground people are here, and they take the mask off Manic, and then the robots, like, find the coin on Manic, so...
Yeah, here's the funny part about this episode. Sleet and Dingo are like, oh, well, I bet the Sonic Underground stole it. And I'm just like, wait, aren't they fugitives? Shouldn't you guys just arrest them for, like, saying, hey, why are you harboring criminals here?
Right!
But they don't. That never gets brought up at all.
I don't get this. It's weird.
Like, Manic just willingly goes to jail.
He just goes to jail.
He goes to jail because he was framed. Because he had been...
not because he is a freedom fighter.
And not because he's a fucking fugitive already. That's why I thought they were wearing the masks. So that they wouldn't get caught.
Yeah.
And they could still play music for the Duke. But then, yeah, Manic, like, willingly goes to jail. And Sonic and Sonia are mad at him. Even though even if he had stolen the money, that would have been okay because it would be going towards Robotnik anyway, who sucks.
Yeah, and like part of this is like they say because of Manic's actions, the Duke will have to pay will have to pay for his taxes out of pocket. And he'll be ruined financially. And also the kids aren't going to get adopted, which they just drop on us.
And
did they say that?
The Duke says, arrest them. Yeah, he says, you guys, I won't... He says, arrest all the street urchins. And I'm just like, holy shit.
He's just like, oh, Manic fucking stole my money? Arrest him. Mm-hmm. Give me that. Like, first of all, arresting them wouldn't give your money back, even if they did have the money. Second of all, Sonic and Sonia are just like, Manic deserves this.
Yeah, they turn on him so quick. They're like, we told you, Manic.
They're huge narcs, and
what the fuck is going on?
They...
Oh my god, how this gets resolved is so stupid, too.
Yeah. So,
anyways, Max, the fact that Sonic doesn't just like beat the shit out of the Duke for just turning on like all his friends, like they're apologizing to him by the end of this episode, and I'm like, why? Dude sold you out at the drop of a hat.
He agrees with the Duke. He's like, yes, my brother should be arrested for doing crimes. But, like, yeah, later, I guess, like, Sonic and Sonia get away because they're not really the ones in trouble, and then they're like, Sonia's like, wow, those fucking urchins made Manic want to go to his old ways again, and Sonic's like, no, I don't think that's true. He would have, like, he can make his own decisions, and I think I believe him that it was a dare. Or something? Is that what happened? I'm sorry. I feel like I missed something.
Here's the thing about this. Sonia says, like, oh, those fucking dirty street urchins ruined my brother. While two of the street urchins are standing right behind her.
Oh, right.
She sure does.
Sonia is my enemy.
That it just goes to show you can't trust the rich. So
Sonia's turned me into a misogynist.
Like the Joker.
Why is she like this?
Why is she like this? Why is the one girl character like this?
She was nothing but forgiving to that one rich family that nearly created a surveillance state for Robotnik. But, like, Manic's new little street urchin friends do one thing. They didn't even do anything. It was all Erchino, and she's like, God, I hate them.
She should want to give them money to be fed or whatever. But no, more important that the Duke keeps his money and keeps his ball able to be going on, and it's fine, the street urchins will get adopted, or
Sonia is so rich and she is marrying a prince later. Haven't forgotten about that. So why does she find
my
them
god,
families?
I forgot.
Right, she's engaged to an adult man.
I forgot.
Who is filthy rich. I know we will eventually see him again, but hopefully not anytime soon.
I hope we wouldn't have to.
So, how they resolve this is, Max, spies on, Sleet and Dingo, who just are celebrating with their loot by explaining their plan in full detail while he records.
While two street urchins just stand right behind them.
Literally, even have him transform into Erchino. They're like, damn, that was such a good idea, what we did. I didn't mean to talk over you, Devin. I'm just so, he had a camera. He found a camera.
They're also just, they're joking about this plan while two of the other street urchins are standing right behind them also.
Well, they didn't know Max was there with a camera, though.
Yeah.
He just had a camera.
Everyone is so mean to these poor kids.
They realize that he has a camera, and they try to chase after him. And he gets away, and he runs into Sonic, who... Sonic's there for some reason, because he's like, oh, I want to see what's actually up, because I believe my brother all of a sudden.
Yeah, they do bust Manic out of jail after they think they have evidence.
Yeah, they, have evidence, I guess, and they bust Manic out of jail, and I'm like, why? First of all, if you're so worried about, rules and stuff, why didn't you show the robots or Duke or whatever, the actual evidence first?
Yeah.
If you care that much about rules that Manic was arrested in the first place.
He just wanted to be sure, I guess.
They bust him out. The robot cops are after them. They let themselves get caught, I guess.
So they can show the evidence.
They fucking show the evidence, and they, catch Sleet and Dingo, in the act of stealing all the money and trying to get out of there. And they're like, oh, we found this money. We're such good detectives. And then they show the footage.
Yeah. It works. The system works.
It works. It works. I'm sorry if, anything I said was confusing. This fucking episode is confusing.
Yeah, this episode's...
I can't believe the end of this episode is Sonic narking to the fucking Robotnik police force.
Yeah, at first I thought it was the Duke's police, but no, I'm pretty sure it's Robotnik's police robots.
Yeah.
And he's narking about, how the money was stolen. And then the robots take Sleet and Dingo in, because they were trying to do fraud with the taxes, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those motherfuckers are dead. I think Eggman killed them, right? No, but they're probably back in the next episode.
I mean, he should.
They're probably back in the next episode, because this cartoon doesn't make sense. I know, it's for kids, but, come on. There has to be some kind of...
There isn't much...
I know, I kept trying to meet it as, a Saturday morning cartoon, little kid viewing experience, and every time I did, I'm like, but this would make me mad as a kid. I would watch this as a kid and be like, what the fuck is going on?
They reveal the kids are all gonna get adopted, and Max...
Yeah, the Duke can just do that.
Yeah.
By who? Who's adopting them? Who's there?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Is the Duke
just assigned
adopting
them
them?
families.
Is the Duke just taking all these children then?
That would make sense. So
he just assigned them families.
He
The
found
Duke
them.
just has the power to assign these children families.
He just selects 5 random families and says, you're their kids now. These are your kids now.
These are your urchins.
We end with Max revealing he's gonna join the Freedom Fighters, but he's gonna be a freedom fighter who obeys the law.
Yeah,
somehow,
like freedom
that's how that
fighters
works.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom fighters, aka not terrorists.
Yeah. So, that ends these episodes, and I think it's time to read some questions. Listeners,
I'm tired now from just yelling about these 2 children's show episodes.
Right. Listeners, if you want to send in a question, you can either send it in on our Twitter, @ShuffleSonic, or at any time at your leisure in the Ask Zone on our Discord. So, real quick checking, I think no Twitter questions. Okay. We've got a couple questions. Let's see. Jasmine @Sidmon asks, what would Sonic, Sonya, and whatever the green one's named have for outsider powers in the Dishonored universe? I know a little bit about Dishonored. I know you can control rats.
That's Manic. Manic controls the rats.
Manic controls rats.
He's the largest rat.
Mm-hmm.
Controls all the other rats.
He's the rat
makes
king.
all the rules.
He makes all the rules.
Rat king.
He probably gets the rats to like steal for him and stuff. Mm-hmm. Or wait, no, stealing's bad. I'm sorry. I forgot that was the lesson we learned.
Well, maybe if they're in the Dishonored universe, it's okay because they're... What's the word I'm looking for? What's that weird-ass term? They are immersive sim protagonists and can just steal as much as they like.
Yeah.
It's okay there.
Good for them.
Let's see.
I don't know any of the other powers, I'm sorry.
Oh, I think there's one that lets you, like, possess animals.
That's Sonya.
They are animals.
That's Sonya because she loves to be part of the aristocracy.
Mm-hmm. And can't think of one to assign to Sonic because I don't remember enough Dishonored powers to say.
Sonic gets lightning powers. I don't even know if that's a thing in Dishonored. He gets lightning powers.
Yeah. Okay. James the Cat Girl asks, what powers would Sonic's mask grant Majora's Mask style? And points out, you can't say move faster because there's already a mask for that.
So his mask, it's on the Twitter, but the mask for like the masquerade, he's like a blue like goblin orc, tiefling kind of guy.
It's like a sort of like Gobbo monster guy with like teeth and horns and like there's a beard horn. I think this lets you do headbutts.
That's what I was gonna say. That's really funny. Because, I was thinking of, like, since there's, like, 3 horns is what it looks like.
Yeah.
You can just, like, ram your face into people.
Yeah. Yeah, you like, hold down the, you hold down, like, B button and, like, Z... You hold down B button and let go and you ram into guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kitty the cat, Kitty Cat Herder asks, how long after being told that stealing is wrong would it take before Sonic tries to steal more chili dogs?
Well, Sonic was the one telling us not to steal. Mm-hmm. So jot that down.
Wait, it's a huge thing that he just goes around taking chili dogs.
Yeah. I think if he told, like, Sat AM Sonic this, he'd just go and steal some chili dogs from a conveniently placed chili dog vendor.
He would say, I'm sorry, I have a dictator to overthrow.
Mm-hmm.
And Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is just like, I make my own chili dogs because I'm a fucking nomad.
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog has
a
weird inflation scene where he eats too many chili dogs and gets big and large and round.
No,
yeah,
you're so right, though.
He gets big and large and round.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Let's see. Okay,
I think
let's see. Yeah, that's it. This one person who's just, like, not super familiar with the server asked some questions, less about the episode, just general questions. Right. I'm not gonna get into it. Anyways.
Take that out of the episode.
You know what? Yeah, I'll cut that out. So, with that, it's time to roll for next episode. Or is it? I'm trying to figure out. So, like, I'm debating whether or not to make next. I think we can do Fan Zone in 2 weeks. It'll probably go up in, like, at the end of September or early October. Yeah. So next week, let's roll. That's a 4, and if I remember correctly, let me check to be sure. 4 is the UK Sonic comics.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be reading the Sonic Terminator arc. I think that's the one where they introduce Metal Sonic.
Yo.
I know that version of Metal Sonic is, like, super important. It'll be fun. I think that wraps it up. So, until next time, I'm Dan. You can find me at all sorts of places, and you can find those places at linktr.ee/big_challenges. From there, you can find my Twitter, at biggerchallenge. You can find my other podcasts, which include Pod of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. We're halfway through Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The day after this recording is gonna be a GX recording. We're gonna be talking about a 3-parter. You can listen to Video Games, the Movie, the Podcast, a monthly video game movie podcast I do with my friend Maxie. We'll probably, it's September, and the movie we're talking about this month is Mortal Kombat 1995. I might be looking into getting a guest for that one. No hard confirmation, but I have sent out a call, and I'm waiting on a response from my potential guest.
A new challenger approaches.
You can listen to Stranger's Fiction, an actual play podcast focused on one-shots, and we recently came back for a short campaign of Mythologic. Mythologic is an in-development RPG by the Crow System, aka Daisy. Did I get that right, Daisy? No. Anyway, Mythologic, we are going on a cross-country tour to find and kill Zeus. I am playing as Menolios, who is the descendant of a nature god, and is also known as the Greenwood Shambler, a local cryptid in the Pacific Northwest.
Ooh.
And last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. And let's see, today on the day of recording is Erchino Day. According to my schedule, the next closest one, I think, let me make sure, the next closest holiday to recording will probably be, let's see. Well, there's two things to bring up. Three things. There's a couple things, actually. There's Yom Kippur. There's Chuseok. I might have mispronounced that. It's a Korean fall harvest festival. There's the 21st night of September. And the day after that is fall equinox. And the day after that is Celebrates Bisexuality Day.
Nice.
Yeah. An eventful month, to be sure. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morgue on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me, I guess, on my other podcast, Departure Lounge, a airplane-based Hunter x Hunter podcast. I'm trying to get in a better mental space for all that. Watch the Twitter. Follow my Twitter. Figure out when I update that, because I'll probably reblog it and stuff. And yeah, that's it. Devin, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Groovin' Ghastly, and also on a Hunter podcast. We are slowly getting caught up on actually releasing our episodes on time. So also watch out for that.
All right. And we are the Sonic Shuffle. You can find us on Twitter at ShuffleSonic. From there you can find the Discord. And you can also find us on Noisepace.xyz. Noisepace.xyz is a podcast incubator hosted by Canadians, hence the name. Not a lot of them people there are Canadian, but some are.
The guy who runs it is...
Yep.
Matt GameCube.
And because of what we did with the weekly shoutouts, this week's weekly shoutout is Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses. Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses is a Modao Zushi podcast run by fiancés Fallon and Roy. It's very good. I haven't listened to it myself. My problem with rewatch podcasts is that I need to, I feel like I need the source material unless it's, something bad. But
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
that's understandable.
I really want to watch Modao Zushi at some point. Gotta get around to it. Once I do, I'll probably start listening. But from what I know, it's pretty good. It's been around for a while. It's a great podcast. Roy is amazing. Fallon is great. You listen to their podcast and watch Modao Zushi if you get the chance.
They also put out a big ol' episode where Roy tells... I don't remember... Gigantic Larry on Twitter? I don't remember... I think that's who it is. About everything up to the point of that episode being put out, and it's 4 hours, but you can break it up. It's very easy to listen to in chunks, and you can get caught up on the show that way without having to listen to the whole thing. I still recommend listening to the whole thing, but it's a good way to get a rundown if you're someone who's like me, who's just kind of yeah, I listen to podcasts even if I don't watch the thing a lot of the time. And I had a good time.
Yeah. I know part of what, like, the current, like, stuff they do for, Modao is, like, they talk about, are these books? I'm not sure what exactly. Yeah.
It started off as books, and then it got, like, turned into a, I don't remember the Chinese word for, like, their cartoons, anime. I always fucking forget it, but it's Chinese. That's why I'm like, it's not anime. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's good. Roy's a good podcaster, and
yeah,
I really enjoy Fallon. I just know Roy has done more podcasts.
Yeah. And that wraps everything up. So, as always, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
Man, I would say he's the only blue live that matters, but he's a cop in this one, so I can't say it this time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the only life that matters in this episode is Mannix. Steal from the rich kids.
He's the green life that matters.
The only one.
Steal from the rich.
The only one.
Good night.
Good night.
I long for my children, but I have to wait. To act too soon could seal their fate.
They made a vow, their